friends, welcome to the Unit 1, Day 5 notes. We're talking about today the square root property and solving using the square root property. When you have an algebraic expression with x and you have x squared equaling some number k, then you know that x equals, and this should say square root of k, or square root, or x equals negative square root of k. I apologize for the error there. So by solving by the square root method, we essentially just have a b term of 0, and so what we can do is we can just square root both sides. Whenever we take the square root of both sides, we always get a positive and a negative. So if I have x squared equals 17, the way that I solve this is I take the square root of both sides. So whenever you introduce a square root into a problem, you have to remember the both positive and negative. So the way that I remember this is from my algebra teacher, and she would go square root, plus minus, and that would help me remember that I will do that. So you will hear me do that a couple of times. So we have two solutions for this first one. It is x equals plus or minus the square root of 17. If I plug that back in, I would see that that is in fact the solution for this. Number 6. Now we're going to subtract 16 on both sides to get this in standard form. Sorry, not in standard form, but in square root form, so I can square root it easily. And then when I take the square root on both sides, square root, plus minus, we have a negative under the radical. Now, from a previous section, we've talked about what to do in that situation. So this, the negative, becomes an I, and then the square root of 16 is 4. So this is plus or minus 4i. Number 7. Add 20 on both sides. Get x squared equals 20. And then, you got it, square root, plus minus. Don't forget the plus minus. Then we have x equals. With the square root of 20, we can break that up using factor trees, and I get x equals plus or minus the square root of, let's see, that's going to be 2 square root of 5. And then here, this one's a little bit different, but still the idea is the same. When I subtract 5 on both sides, I get x minus 2, quantity squared, equals 50. I still go ahead and take the square root on both sides. Square root, plus minus. So now I have x minus 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 50. Square root of 50 can be simplified. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So x minus 2 is equal to plus or minus, and then this is going to be 5 square root of 2. Now, I don't have x by itself. I need to add 2 on both sides. Normally when you do that in front of the plus or minus symbol to show that you have x equals 2 plus or minus 5. Oops. Need to leave some space here. 5 square root of 2. This is in fact 2 answers. A lot of students miss this. So it's x equals 2 minus 5 square root of 2, and x equals 2 plus 5 square root of 2. So all of these, we've had 2 answers with these, 2 solutions, 2 possible values. So for this one, just make sure that you understand that this is actually both of these, plus and minus. Join me in the next video as we go over the quadratic formula. Have a wonderful day.